Hello and welcome back to the excavation of Hob's Barrow. Last time we actually found Hob's Barrow and were able to have a look at it, finally. We don't have permission yet for an excavation, and at the end of the day we had a nice little evening with Arthur Tillett, but when we went to bed and fell asleep, apparently we are now in the Purple Doom world, I will call it. So let's see what this is about. This is where the oh, okay,
Hello, Thomasina.
What is this?
Yeah.
Who are you?
I'm the one that saved your father.
What do you mean?
You were here 25 years ago.
My father?
You were deep down with the others. You were there when something went wrong.
I see.
I dragged him out.
I had that
Impossible.
hunch.
I helped him then, and I can help him again.
I don't understand.
Believe my words. You'll find proof in morning. Now go.
I had a feeling that maybe our father was one of the
One more
other
thing.
two outsiders.
This is not a dream.
Expiscor, the second day. I had a feeling that our father could be one of the two other outsiders that we heard were part of the excavation.
Goodness, that was a terrible sleep.
Yeah, quite uncomfortable. What is this now? A book.
What's this?
Okay, it's
There's a strange stone
Yeah.
strapped to the cover.
IAW. Check. Day 1. Arrived after a decent day's ride from Bakewell. This is a curious place. Locals seem distant. I'm to meet my local contact tomorrow, so it will be an early night for me. I shall try to keep a diary of my stay here and not give up by day 3 of the excavation as usual. Despite the thrill of possible new discoveries, I cannot stop thinking about my dear wife and wonder if I should have left her in her current state. I must have faith that she will conquer this bout of illness. Day 4. True to form, my journal has been abandoned. Let that not speak for my excitement I feel for the excavation. After much preparation, we dig tomorrow. Such an exceptional site with a unique history. As for the dangers, we shall meet them head first. We are prepared. I also sought out a local wise woman yesterday, and she provided me with a tincture for my beloved's nausea gravidarum. I'm sure she will be pleased with it upon my return. Lo, a place of miracles. A planted seed sprouted before our eyes and illuminated our path. Nature's laws hold no meaning here, but I clutch my tablet with the knowledge that it shall end this. We have foe. And let me write that down as well. Or row, I mean. Theta. Epsilon. And 11. ETE 11. We found the code was simply in the singularity of the characters. All eyes must face towards the 7th archontic. When the sun and the 2 moons meet, the guardian shall be defeated. Okay. A dead language reveals the path. For thou art the moon, the chief of the stars. Listen to the things that I have said. Follow the words of my mouth. Reveal thyself to me. I heard a whisper, not once, again and again. I will pour out my spirit. I will pour out my spirit. I will pour out my spirit.
It appears to be a journal, full of hogwash. I don't recognize the handwriting. Maybe Stanley knows more about it.
Okay, we can access the book. Journal stone. That is quite curious. And creepy.
Good morning. How's your head, Miss Bateman? That were quite the tune you treated us to last night.
To be honest, Stanley, I felt better. I take it you slid this journal under my door?
I beg your pardon?
The journal, Stanley.
I certainly did no such thing. Nor could have anyone else. You're the only guest staying here.
What's the meaning of all this? Do you propose that it manifested itself out of thin air?
Well,
You might be telling the truth, honestly. I get a feeling there's something strange going on.
I'm sorry. I just don't understand how else it could have got there. Are you sure there was no one else here overnight?
without doubt.
How very, very peculiar.
So, what does it say inside?
Do we now get a little wary of things? No, I feel like we would share this. I'm wary, but I feel like she would share
Take
this.
a look.
Well, I can't make head nor tail of it.
Neither can I.
Maybe someone else in the village can help you with it.
Talked about some wise woman, so obviously I was thinking either of the woman we met at this train station when we arrived, or that old lady selling bakery goods.
What do you make of this stone?
That's a funny looking thing. It's got a cockerel on it.
Yes, but have you seen anything like it?
Never.
Do you ever have strange dreams, Stanley?
Me? I sleep as sound as a baby.
I had one such dream last night. It was so vivid.
What were it about?
No, I think we skipped this one.
Oh, nothing. Don't worry.
Suit yourself.
Goodbye.
See you soon.
Good morning, Mr. Kemp.
Good day, Miss Tompkins.
I'm here for his lordship's paper.
Sorry, lass. Mr. Price hasn't dropped them off this morning. I heard he actually left the village yesterday.
Indeed, I can vouch for that.
Yeah.
Ma'am?
Good day.
Oh dear. His lordship won't be pleased.
My sincerest apologies, Miss Tompkins.
I'll come back in a few days. Ta-ra.
Goodbye.
I guess she works for the Lord. There's a
The
knife.
knife is stuck deep in the table.
Can I take it?
Goodness me, I can't budge it.
Be careful, Miss Bateman. You'll cut yourself. I spent all morning trying to get that bloody thing out. I shall be having words with that scoundrel next time he shows his face.
Curses.
We have our very own Excalibur.
Guess so,
It's
yeah.
all yours if you can pull it out, King Arthur.
You have anything that would help? Maybe the glove?
I can't see how that will help me.
Get a better grip. The chisel, maybe?
I do not wish to damage Mr. Kemp's table any further than it already has been. I do not wish to...
Okay. Very, very curious. Could also be the market today.
Right. I need to
Hobby.
convince Mr. Bryden to let me excavate Hobb's barrow.
Yep.
And find out where this journal came from. I've just noticed this matchbox is completely damp from the rain.
Oh no.
The match is no use to me anymore.
Oh no.
Good day.
I'm still setting up my stall. Come back later.
Oh, I'm sorry. She is busy setting up her stall.
Okay, let's look this direction first. See if our stuff is still there.
Perhaps I have something in here that could help me get the knife unstuck.
Ooh, that would be nice.
No, there's nothing useful here. I don't wish to wake him up.
That's Wally.
Hello, Wally.
Go away! You gave the door back to my sister.
It wasn't very nice of you to bury her favourite toy, Wally.
Yeah.
I gave it to the fair folk, and you stole it back from them.
You don't really believe in fairies, do you? You're old enough to know better.
They're real, and thanks to you, I'm cursed.
There's no such thing as curses either, Wally.
Go away!
Okay. Now let's look around town. Someone knows anything else? We can find a way. Get access to the...
Father Roach is standing over there by the blacksmiths.
Oh. Didn't even see that.
Father Roach still looks rather pallid.
Still.
Good morning, Father Roach.
Ah, Miss Bateman. What a pleasure to see you again. Have you tracked down Mr. Shoulder yet?
Don't get me started.
I'll take that as a no.
Indeed. Do you recognize this journal?
What a tatty old thing. You ought to take better care of your possessions, Miss Bateman.
It's not mine.
Then whose is it?
That's precisely what I'm trying to find out.
Yeah.
I'm afraid I can't help you. I haven't seen it before.
What do you make of this stone?
I don't recognize the symbol from any Christian iconography. Did you make it yourself?
No, never
No.
mind. What brings you to the square today?
Yeah.
I'm meeting a couple of young congregation members to go over some scripture. You're welcome to join us.
Thank you, Father Roach, but I have quite a busy day ahead of me.
We will be at St. Edmund's, should you wish to join us later.
Thanks for your time.
Lord be with you.
The blacksmith looks closed.
Is the cobbler in it there?
No one here.
Still nothing. Thing here?
Mr. Long mustn't be in. I don't need to go.
Okay. Oops. Was I able to go there? No. Okay. Let's go to the church. Lady is not there. One inside? No. Doesn't seem like there's anything new here.
It's locked.
What?
Margaret's Lookout,
Yeah, that's from...
dedicated to Arthur's
yeah.
mother.
Just remembering Margaret Tillett. Like we promised.
What a peculiar name, the Devil's Toe. I can't quite see the resemblance myself.
Oh, not really. He's here.
A carved stone has been affixed. I think it's bolted onto the door itself. I can't remove it.
Oh, so that implies that we might be able to. It.
That is not coming off. That is not. I've come a long way to meet you, Mr. Shoulder. Please open the door. No sign of any movement.
Can I open the window?
No sign of any movement.
Can I smash the window?
No, that... He looks much too unruly to be picked up. You're a sweet little thing.
There's nothing here. That path all the way to the west, where they were cutting down trees, should be open now. They said it would be open next day. Can I pick them up?
You're coming with me, little fellow.
Okay.
I shall name you Kenneth.
Ah,
I've already taken one.
let's see.
Hello?
One here?
Is anyone home? Mr. Bryden doesn't seem to be here right now. I should come back a bit later.
Go to the Barrow. They are. Still not sure what that means.
I must gain Mr. Bryden's permission to excavate.
Let's go back to the square. No. Make our way from here to the railway station. Is Cyril's here? No. Oh, Cyril. Oh. Attention, Bewlay Station is closed for the time being due to track damage between Bewlay and Bakewell. We apologize for any inconvenience caused. Hey.
My mother always told me not to walk on railway tracks.
Closed right now. No.
Hello?
Guess Arthur is not here. So, oh,
Thomasina!
Arthur.
Good morning, Arthur.
You look a bit addled. Are you feeling all right?
I am not
Oh.
used to drinking as much as we did.
Aye, my head is pounding.
To tell you the truth, Arthur, I've had a somewhat puzzling morning.
Oh?
Someone slipped this journal under the door of my room.
Yep.
Whose journal is it?
I have no idea. The text refers to some sort of excavation.
Well, Stanley must be playing tricks on you.
He swore his innocence. I thought perhaps you might have done it?
No, it wasn't me. That's for certain. Somehow I have a clear memory of last night.
Yeah, it's like the thing with the night before is weird. I am a little bit suspicious of Stanley, but
I wonder who left me this journal then.
Mind if I take a closer look?
Please go ahead.
yeah. He's our new assistant. Kenneth is fired.
The writings of a madman.
I don't disagree. Did the sketches mean anything to you?
No, not at all. But they turn me stomach. You might want to show this to Mother Mildred.
Who's Mother Mildred?
Who is Mother Mildred?
Some think her a witch.
That might be the
witch?
wise woman
She
mentioned.
might be able to help you with the symbols.
Where can I find her?
She lives alone in a little cottage within Herne Wood here. You shouldn't have too much trouble finding her.
Thanks, Arthur.
You're
Or
welcome.
maybe down the road that was locked last night.
What do you make of this stone?
It's a good shape for skimming across water. What is it?
I'm not sure. It was strapped to the cover of the journal.
How mysterious.
Indeed.
I had a splendid time last night.
Yeah, thank you, Arthur.
I even remember most of it this time. Thanks for listening to me going on. I really appreciate it.
The
You're
feeling
welcome.
is mutual. Thank you too, Arthur. I see the railway station is closed. What happened?
The line is down. Track damage between Bewlay and Bakewell. No trains for a day or more.
Does that mean I'm stranded here?
For the time being, Thomasina.
Capital. Why do people think Mother Mildred is a witch? Just because a woman lives alone in the woods doesn't mean she flies about on a broomstick.
There's more to it than that. They say she lays with demons.
Who are they?
Okay.
Oh, you know, local folk.
Hogwash.
Some
Hogwash.
also go to her for potions and spells.
Spells? Come now, Arthur.
Truth be told, she's a nice old lady. I sometimes see her foraging in the brambles around here.
Will she burn at the stake sometime soon?
You might think us backward in Bewlay, Thomasina, but we're not that backward.
Sorry, Arthur. I only meant to tease. Goodbye.
Ta-ra!
Hurrah. Okay, so we heard about the witch. Oh. Oh, that's the guy who was with the... Uh-oh.
Hello, dear.
Good day.
Okay, that was strange.
He's a little more handsome than your average Bewlay resident.
Who's the guy who was with the woodcutters
I
yesterday?
believe we've met.
Miss Thomasina Bateman, the famous antiquarian.
Heard
My
of me.
reputation precedes me.
I can assure you it does.
And you are?
James.
Okay. And then last name?
Are you a painter?
You see this beck before you. Look at the water. See how it tumbles and falls. I seek one spot on which my eyes can rest, be it a stone or a small corner of the current. I meet it with my gaze, and out of the tumbling and falling, a new land rises. I see a new world.
You certainly have the eloquence of an artist. What are you painting?
A new world.
Quite the ambition.
Indeed, my ambition knows no bounds.
Can I see it?
Not yet. It's not finished.
Mysterious.
Such a world is not complete without you in it.
You flatter me, James.
Nonsense. Say you'll let me paint you.
Oh, why not?
Why not?
Magnificent. You shall be the shining star of my new world.
I
Definitely a
don't
little
really
creepy.
have the time now, though. Perhaps later?
Don't fret, my dear. When the time comes, I shall call on thee.
Capital.
Capital.
Do you recognise this journal?
A place to keep one's thoughts and reflect.
Is it yours?
No, my dear.
What do you make of this stone?
It looks antique. You might want to keep a hold of it.
Do you know of Hob's Barrow?
I'd like to know more about you, Thomasina. What time do you like to rise in the morning? How do you like your tea? What makes you happy?
Okay. Okay. I don't know. I feel like he's a little... I get it.
Late.
Weird feeling
with
about
3
him.
spoons of sugar and spending time with my husband.
You disappoint me. I sense no truth in your words. Are you a woman of dubious principles, Thomasina?
You ask too many questions. Do you know Leonard Shoulder?
A man
As
of
we proceed to
Bewlay.
ask
Yes.
questions.
I care not for the men of Bewlay. Only for the visitors.
Okay.
What do you know of Lord Panswick?
A fine gentleman. Now that is someone who commands
Maybe
respect.
he is Lord
Do
Penswick.
you know him personally?
No, I don't think anyone can really claim that. But what a tiring subject. Shall we discuss something a little more exciting?
Goodbye.
See you
Goodbye.
soon, my dear.
Okay, he creeps me out a little. A little too slimy. Oh, another flashback.
Thomasina, dear, come say goodbye to your father. Come on now, don't make him wait.
I don't want to.
Aren't you going to miss me?
I hate you, Daddy.
Those are strong words for such a little lady.
I want to come with you.
We've been through this, little bird. You can't come with me this time, but we'll go to Seaborough next month. I promise. Oh, what a dig that shall be.
I hate you.
Well, I love you.
Well.
See you soon, little bird.
Wonder if that is when he left for Bewlay. Probably, right? Nothing here. Staying away from the badger hole, that's for sure. Hey. That must be the witch. Oh boy. Oh, I talked to her, actually.
I feel
because-
there's more information I can...
Felt like I
It's
missed
the
something
old
there.
woman I saw at Bewlay Station.
Oh, so she... Okay.
Please, forgive my intrusion. Are you Mother Mildred?
Some call me that. I prefer Mildred Walker.
Also,
given as
didn't
that's
the
me
vicar
name.
say that he likes to
Apologies.
pick berries?
Thomasina Bateman. I
Maybe
think we
he-
met at Bewlay Station.
I take it Panswick's men have
You know?
cleared off.
With a witch?
Good riddance. Those ruffians would cut their own noses off if he asked them to. I recognised you the moment I laid eyes on you at the station.
I beg your pardon?
Oh, yeah, it's quite a striking family resemblance. You have your father's eyes, Miss Bateman.
Okay.
You knew my father?
Such piercing blue eyes he had. What a handsome young man. William.
He was here, in Bewlay.
Oh, yes. A long time ago, mind. 25 years by my reckoning. But I'll never forget those
There we go.
eyes.
Well, tell me more about my father.
Why was my father in Bewlay?
He were helping Samuel Bryden excavate Hobb's Barrow.
You must be jesting.
Do I look like I'm jesting?
No.
How did you come to meet my father?
One might say I have a reputation in these parts. Folks from all around come to me for help with their ailments. Hernwood is abundant with flora that, if mixed correctly, will cure almost any ill. Your father must have caught wind of this, as one day he came to me, asking for a cure.
A cure for what?
Your mother were with child, and she was suffering the most terrible
I
nausea.
see.
Adam.
I made something to help her.
The journal.
Oh, so we have a brother?
This was entered in the journal. It belongs to my father.
What journal?
We'll get to the journal. Actually, yeah, no, let's bring it up
Take
now.
a look at this. A passage recalls meeting a local wise woman to seek a tincture for his beloved's nausea gravidarum.
Aye, that's me. I made the tincture for him.
This is incredible.
You don't recognise your own father's handwriting?
It's been so many years since I've seen it.
What do you make of the stone?
What do you make of this stone?
I-A-W. I haven't a clue. Perhaps it's an old folk trinket.
I am
Or
William.
a talisman of some kind. The Moors are steeped in folklore.
Okay. Can you tell me more of that excavation that happened?
What can you tell me about the excavation?
Well, not much. I only met your father twice. The last time he asked me if I knew anything about binding magic.
Binding magic?
He said he needed it for the excavation.
Hogwash. My father is a man of logic and reason. Why would he be asking about such nonsense?
Perhaps you don't know him as well as you think you do. Anyway, I know nothing of magic and told him so. He seemed disappointed. I never saw him again, but I understand the excavation went ahead. Samuel Bryden hanged himself not long after. Reason enough for you to stay well clear of that place.
What happened after the excavation?
You never saw my father again after the excavation?
No, I always assumed he just went home.
Who excavated Hobbs Barrow alongside Samuel Bryden and my father?
Who was the third person?
From memory, it were just the two of them.
What do you think my father meant by binding magic?
I've no idea. He didn't explain more and I didn't wish to pry.
This just doesn't sound like my father at all.
You'll have to ask him yourself.
I'm afraid my father has been incapacitated since I was a child. He cannot speak nor move.
Terrible. Oh, I'm sorry.
You said that the flora here could cure almost any ill.
Almost, my dear. But your father's affliction sounds beyond my abilities.
No. You have really no idea about the third man?
Charles Bryden mentioned there was a third man involved in the excavation.
Is that so? Well, you best ask him about it. He knows more than I do.
What do you know about Leonard's shoulder?
Can you tell me anything about Leonard's shoulder?
I know of him, as is the nature of such a small town. I also know he invited you here.
Little escapes you, Miss Walker.
So they say. My
like her.
path rarely crosses with his. Let's put it that way. But he's a nice enough fellow.
I see.
What about Lord Panswick?
Do you know Lord Panswick?
I know his labourers make a mess of these woods, the brutes. The man himself hasn't graced me with his presence.
You've never met him?
Not since he were a wee lad. A maid brought him to me with a sore stomach. It were all the rich food they were feeding him, nowt more.
Thank you for your help, Miss Walker.
Interesting.
What are those berries you're picking?
An ancient breed, no good for eating. However, they do have some medicinal qualities.
I see.
So maybe the vicar picked those? That's what made him sick? If anything else that we can or should ask her about, I don't think so.
I shouldn't enter uninvited.
I can't.
What are those berries you're...
An ancient... However, they do...
I see. Miss Walker is concentrating hard on her berry picking.
Interesting. Oh.
Miss Bateman?
Yes?
Remember what I told you when we first met? You're better off waiting for the next train back to the city.
Why?
Something terrible happened to Samuel Bryden in that barrow. Whatever
So
they
we
found
hear,
down
yeah.
there, I'd wager it got to your father too. Tell me you won't disturb Hobbs Barrow.
I can't make that promise, Mildred.
Can't say I didn't warn you. There is something unnatural about that place.
We must seek to understand the world by rational means, Miss Walker. One cannot abandon reason.
Once all rational answers
Thomasina?
don't
Thomasina, come
fit,
here
it
this
might be
instant.
an irrational one, though.
I'm playing with Josephine.
She can wait. This is very important.
Okay. Let me pick her up.
I'll be back soon, Josephine. What is it, Mummy?
It's your father.
Daddy's home?
No, my dear. I must go to Bakewell with haste. Miss Bowes will look after you whilst I'm gone. Is that clear?
Where's Daddy?
He's had an accident.
What happened?
He's come off his horse.
Silly Daddy. Will he be all right?
Of course he will be fine. Your father is as strong as an ox, but I need to go collect him, all right?
Can't I come too?
No, dear. Miss Bowes will look after you.
But I want to come.
Go pick up your dolls, then come inside, all right?
Yes, Mummy.
Okay. Feeling it might not have been the horse.
Josephine, it's time to go inside now. Where did Mummy go?
All very, very curious. This is what I saw, the
Resin has been
resin.
oozing from the stump. It looks set now.
I wanted to go back. Take some?
The resin has set somewhat. It's firmly gripped to the stump.
Maybe...
I've collected some waxy resin.
Not sure what we would need it for at this point, but...
I've collected this lump of waxy resin.
good to have. Sure it will come useful at some point. Oh, what's happening? Uh-oh.
I helped him then, and I can help him again.
Arthur?
Arthur, you won't believe it. The journal belongs to my father. He was here in Bewlay. Arthur?
Huh?
Hello?
Oh, sorry. I'm trying to remember something.
What is going on?
What is it?
I'm not sure. Something in the woods. It will come back to me. You say your father were in Bewlay?
Yes. Mildred said that he helped Samuel Bryden excavate Hobb's Barrow 25 years ago.
Well, I'll be. Let's talk
Something-
about it tonight at the plough.
Something is weird. Yeah. I'll trust Arthur. He's my new assistant.
Arthur, I must tell you about the dream I had. I was at Hobb's Barrow and there was a creature. It told me it saved my father from something inside and that I would find proof of this in the morning. Sure enough, when I awoke, the journal was in my room. Mildred confirmed the journal belonged to my father. The creature told me it could help my father again. I mean, it was merely a dream. I don't know what to think anymore. Arthur? Arthur, are you listening? Fine then, we'll talk later. I hope you piece together your memories. He is staring intently into the woods. I'll leave him be for now.
This all makes me nervous. The blacksmith is now here.
Good day.
Hey up.
Look at this, Mr. Crozier. It's my father's journal.
Oh, aye? Why are you showing me?
Did you slip it under my door last night?
Ha! Have you gone daft? Why would I have your father's journal?
Fair enough.
Never mind. Did the sketches inside mean anything to you?
Looks like a load of rubbish to me.
You know my father.
I found out my father visited Bewlay 25 years ago. William Bateman, perhaps you remember him?
I would have been just a lad. What were you here for?
That's what I intend to find out. What do you make of this stone?
Yeah, I mean, he knows.
Don't look like out to me.
Okay.
Are you familiar with any local folklore?
Oh, aye. The old cobbler used to tell me some rat stories. Swore he sold a pair of boots to a goblin when he were a young man.
A goblin, you say? I take it this cobbler was a regular at the Plough and Furrow?
Never drank a day in his life. Sober as a judge. Have you been to the Devil's Toe?
Yes, I'm familiar with the cairn.
Some say they've seen the goblin's daughter there, playing her fiddle. Can't say I've seen her myself, mind.
Okay. I mean, we shouldn't laugh at that if we dream about a goblin that gives us prophetic
Do you know any other stories about this goblin?
I don't have the time to be standing here gossiping about old wives' tales.
Apologies.
Fair enough. Can you help with a stuck knife?
I'm having some trouble extricating a knife from a table in the plough and furrow. Might I borrow a pair of pliers?
A knife, you say? I can get that out for you.
That's very kind of you, Mr. Crozier.
Think nothing of it. Wait here.
Okay. That's awesome.
That were a struggle. Here you are.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks for your time.
Aye. Speak to you later.
That's awesome. Let's have a look at the knife.
I should be careful. The blade is sharp.
That's good. For a knife. Old cobbler there now?
No one here.
He's still setting up shop. The vicar there?
I don't think anyone is home.
See if Stanley has anything to say that we got the knife out. Yeah.
I've had some rather unbelievable news, Stanley.
Oh? Remarkable.
Quite the coincidence, is it not?
Remarkable. Just remarkable.
Do you recall my father from back then?
I'm afraid not. Those were my droving days, you see. I didn't spend much time in Bewlay, but an interesting turn of events nonetheless.
You think of Mother Mildred.
What do you know of Mother Mildred?
I'll tell you what I know about Mother Mildred. She wants locking up.
How so?
She owes me a small fortune on her tab from years ago. Do remind her next time you see her, won't you?
Oh.
I'd rather not get involved, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Be careful who you trust, Miss Bateman.
Sure am.
Who is Miss Tompkins?
A housemaid in the employ of Panswick Manor. She comes by to pick up his lordship's weekly paper.
I'm surprised newspapers are available in Bewlay.
Aye, his lordship gets what he wants.
Fair.
Lord Panswick likes to keep up with affairs from outside of Bewlay.
Aye, he has many interests around the country.
What sort of interests?
His lordship's affairs are his own business.
Are you familiar with any local folklore?
Nothing comes to mind. Well, when I were a wee boy, there were talk of a goblin.
Also talk about goblins.
They say he lived inside Hob's Barrow, hence the name, Hob's Barrow. Hob, coming from hobgoblin, of course. Unfortunately, I don't remember anything else about it.
I was told not to believe in such fairy tales, Stanley.
It's
Don't
the
close your mind to
Hobgoblin's
such
Barrow.
things, lass. I'm sure Mr. Shoulder will tell you more.
Perhaps, if I ever meet him. Goodbye.
See you soon.
So it's Hobgoblin's Barrow, to be precise. That's interesting. In here. Let's see if we can go to the cairn. Oh,
Hello?
that's who I wanted to find. Going to the cairn, since we heard that that's... Oh,
Excuse me, sir.
Yes?
Did you see a young girl with blonde hair pass by here?
No, lass. Here you are. Are you Thomasina Bateman?
who are you? Yeah, I mean, maybe that's Mr. Shoulder.
That's my name.
How marvellous. It's me, Leonard Shoulder.
Oh,
Heavens! I'd given up on finding you.
Please take a seat, Miss Bateman. We have much to discuss.
we have indeed.
You've proven to be quite the enigma, Mr. Shoulder.
I'm mortified. I offer you 1,000 apologies. You see, I've been bound to me bed these past few days with a terrible fever.
How dreadful. I take it you're feeling better now?
Aye. I were on me way to find you when I stopped here to catch me breath. I've not much go in me these days.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I were worried you'd have given up on me and left town.
I had no idea what had become of you, Mr. Shoulder. I spent a good amount of time pounding on your front door.
I'm embarrassed, I really am. I've been doing my best to sleep through the fever. I am so very sorry. Please accept my apology, Miss Bateman.
Fine, Mr. Shoulder. I've come all this way. Let us speak of the business at hand.
Marvelous.
I've just learned that my father was part of a previous excavation of Hob's Barrow some 25 years ago. Why didn't you mention this in your letter?
What? Where did you hear that?
I have my means.
I swear, Miss Bateman, I had no idea.
I take it you will also
That's
deny
so.
delivering me my father's journal?
I'm confused. What journal?
My father's journal was slipped under my door at the Plough and Furrow. It wasn't you who did this.
I've been bound to me bed, lass. What an extraordinary coincidence.
Yeah, lots of
You are
coincidences
following
here.
in your father's footsteps.
It would seem so, Mr. Shoulder.
Alright, so let's get going.
Why did you invite me to excavate Hob's Barrow?
I've always been curious about the colourful folklore surrounding the place. My father told me all sorts of stories about it when I were a wee fellow. Stories that some folk around here take a little too seriously, especially after those lads entered the Barrow a while back.
Alright.
How did you know about me?
I saw your interview in the Bakewell Times. A young lady travelling about the land, digging up barrows. Perfect for the job.
But why do you wish to excavate the barrow?
I want to see what those lads found in there. My curiosity has grown over the years. Now it is time for the mystery to be solved.
I must say I am rather eager to find out what's in there myself. I've managed to find Hob's Barrow, but Mr. Bryden is yet to give me permission to excavate.
Is that so? Keep trying.
Keep
He'll
trying.
relent eventually.
Perhaps you could have a word with him.
Oh no. A lovely young lass such as yourself has a better chance of changing his mind than a shaky old goat like me.
You told me in your letter there would be no issue gaining access to the barrow.
I didn't foresee any when I wrote to you. I'm sorry this has been more complicated than anticipated. Don't give up yet, Miss Bateman. Keep trying with Mr. Bryden.
So you know nothing about my father.
Did you know my father?
I don't believe so. What's his name?
William Bateman. He was in Bewlay for at least a few days, from my understanding.
I'm sorry, lass. The name doesn't ring a bell.
Are you sure you had no idea of my father's involvement in the previous excavation?
I'm quite sure. A most fascinating coincidence, but nothing more than that.
I'm starting to
all.
wonder if it's more than mere coincidence, Mr. Shoulder.
Miss Bateman, I did not take you for a credulous individual.
I'm none of the sort. What can you tell me about the previous excavation of Hob's Barrow?
Oh, it were 25 years ago, or thereabout. Back then, Bewlay were undergoing a period of great strife. Samuel Bryden hadn't harvested a single crop for 2 seasons. Even Hernwood was sick. Berries went to rot almost as quickly as they grew. Folks started to believe the ground were blighted. Disease spread through the livestock too. People were going hungry, a panic set in.
That sounds terrible.
Aye, but I managed to keep myself fed. These things happen in nature, but the blame for it all fell on Hob's Barrow. It were long said that a goblin made his home there. A rumour took root that the goblin were not best pleased with the villagers. In revenge for some unperceived slight, the goblin placed a curse on the soil itself. The villagers believed that ridding the barrow of its lodger would put an end to it all.
Hogwash. My father would have paid no heed to such tales.
Whether it were his intent to join the excavation when coming here, I do not know. But whatever it were that Samuel Bryden and those lads did inside that barrow, people say it did the trick.
The crops started to grow back, and health returned to the livestock. Bewlay were no longer in the grip of dark forces. You must understand. Folk here are a superstitious lot.
I get that.
They don't want you disturbing whatever it were those lads did. As far as the villages are concerned, the problem were fixed. The thought of another excavation must be conjuring panic that you'll undo whatever it were they did.
This does explain a lot.
And it's also why I'd venture nobody around here wants you to touch the place.
Except for you.
I want to know what's there.
Surely you don't believe these tales of goblins and curses to be true?
Not at all. However, I suspect those lads did find something in the barrow. But did it have any connection to failing crops and dying livestock? No. I can assure you there's nothing to fear. Coincidence reigns supreme.
Not sure about that.
What do you think they found?
That is for us to discover, Miss Bateman.
Who was the third man who joined my father and Mr. Bryden on the excavation?
I'm afraid I don't know. Although I'd heard about the excavation and I were intrigued by it, I mostly stayed at home during that time. The atmosphere in the village was rather too tense for me liking. And besides, the excavation were undertaken with an air of mystery about it.
Okay.
Tell me more of this folklore you mention.
It is said that Hob's Barrow is home to a goblin. Everyone in Bewlay has some version or another of this story. But the version my father told me as a child described the Barrow as a thin place. The goblin were deemed to be the guardian of this so-called thin place.
Tell me more about this goblin.
Some said he were a mischievous little mite, snatching newborn lambs and smashing windows with pebbles. Others said he were friendly, there to lend a helping hand in times of strife. The latter of which makes it all the more surprising as to why the previous excavation took place. My father's stories put the goblin in the mischievous category. Saxnot, he called the creature. I recall one such anecdote, that Saxnot entered Bewlay and ordered a pair of boots to be made by the cobbler. However, when collecting them, he insisted on paying for them with a bag of sow's teeth. The cobbler was so scared of angering the goblin that he accepted.
A colourful tale indeed, Mr. Shoulder. Has any explanation been offered for why this Saxnot cursed the soil?
Your guess is as good as mine, lass.
What's a thin place?
What is a thin place?
A place where one can walk between worlds. Where the flesh meets the spirit world. Just superstition, of course, as you well know.
I had a peculiar dream last night. I met a creature at Hob's Barrow. I suppose you might say it was a goblin. It told me it had saved my father from trouble inside Hob's Barrow. I'll admit the coincidence of this is somewhat astounding.
A remarkable coincidence, but nothing more than that.
But there is still one thing that puzzles me. The goblin told me proof of its claims would await me in the morning. Surely enough, I awoke to find that my father's journal had appeared in my room.
Very queer indeed.
Yep.
Mr. Shoulder, you invited me here, to a town I'd never heard of, only for me to discover that my own father was here 25 years before. And not only that, but that he was also embroiled in some sort of superstitious hysteria which goes against everything he ever taught me. Something is wrong here.
Indeed.
This must be more than mere coincidence.
It's strange, I'll give you that. But please remember who you are, Miss Bateman.
This is my father's journal.
Incredible. Can I look inside?
You may.
Look at these drawings. Wonder what it all means.
You and I both. It all feels very out of character for my father.
Yeah, indeed.
I'm sure you'll find the answers beneath the soil, Miss Bateman.
What do you make of this strange stone?
A carving of a cockerel?
Yes, it was strapped to my father's journal. Do you think it could have something to do with the previous excavation?
Possibly, though I'm not aware of the motif having any meaning around these parts.
Is this your glove?
I've been looking all over for that. Where did you find it?
In the alley behind the plough and furrow on the night of my arrival. Were you there?
As I say, I've been bedbound for several days, Miss
Very
Bateman.
strange.
How odd.
Can I please have it back?
Here.
Thank you.
This is all very strange.
We're peas of the same pod, Miss Bateman. I knew you wouldn't be frightened by a few old stories. It will be interesting to see what those lads found in there.
Certainly.
Thank you so very much for responding to my letter and for coming here. We have some great discoveries to make, you and I.
I sincerely hope so.
And a chance to follow in your father's footsteps. Right, time for me to shift these old bones. I'm to take me a spot of the plough and furrow. I'll be there all night should you need me assistance.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Shoulder.
I'm sorry again for giving you the runaround. I promise I am not beyond redemption. I won't let you down again. See you soon.
Very peculiar. All
I'm
of it.
starting to wonder if Mr. Shoulder even existed.
Yeah. Well, I think this is a good time to take a break, and then we continue to try to unravel this mystery, find out more about our father, about the excavation, about the whole burrow, about everything, about the goblin, and whatever else we find out. Thank you all for watching today's episode of the Excavation of Hob's Barrow. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give the video a like, maybe consider subscribing to the channel, share the video with friends, family, and the people on the internet. That all helps me out a whole bunch and will bring you more content in the future. I will be back with more of the Excavation of Hob's Barrow very soon. Until then, have a great time.